What is up, crew? Welcome to Seek the Edge podcast with me, Kelsey Lensman, where our mission is to challenge you outside of your comfort zone so you can tap into and live the God-given potential inside. And today I have two women that are just so near and dear from my heart for, yes, what we're going to talk through today and the experience we had last year in 2025. But even more than that is the women that I've seen them grow into over the past 4+ years. And it's cool to sit across the table from people that not only just going to talk about it today, but live it out today. And I've seen you wrestle both with certain things. I've seen you overcome certain things. And I've seen both of you become women that previous versions of you would be mind blown about. And so today I have the honor of Amy Mesh and Jill Hile today. And the reason of what we're going to chat through and why they're on is we went on a big trip last year, and it was called Hike ADK. And this is our first time we've ever done this, but we took a crew up to upstate New York to the Adirondacks, and we hiked Algonquin, which if you know Algonquin, you know why I say it like that. And if you don't know Algonquin, it is no mountain in Ohio. I will tell you that much. It is, we thought it was differently than what it actually was. But with that, it was a beautiful experience for all of us to come up against some challenges, to come up against some resistance, our internal thoughts, but also just learn a lot about ourselves and then also each other in that. And so I want to share, and we're going to talk about their experience with it and also where and what they walked away with at the end of the day. So both of you, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I'm excited to have you.
Excited to be here.
Happy to be here.
I know. I'm first going to start with a little intros of you. So first, Jill, I'm going to have you start, and
Okay.
then Amy, you go, and just share your background a little bit, but then also what has been beneficial for you over the past couple of years in your growth journey.
Sure. It's a big question.
I know.
How long do we have? No, I'm just teasing. So yeah, my name's Jill, and I've been a client of Kelsey's, yours, since we were just figuring that out about 4 years. I can't believe it. It feels like it was just yesterday. And I was the girl that stalked you for 6 months before I ever made the phone call. And one of the things that made me start to give my trust to Kelsey was that the first thing she did before she'd take me as a client was that she needed to meet my support system. And I've never had, of all the trainers I've worked with before and all the fitness coaches this or this plan that, none of the things that were working, this felt different from that beginning. You were like, I'm not even willing to take you as a client if I don't know who's in your corner helping you. And so I remember we were 4th of July weekend sitting with my husband on a Zoom call, just talking through what it was going to be like to work with you. And excuse me, I was pretty hooked. And, luckily I had the support of my husband and we dove right in. And, I was not a newcomer to the gym or fitness. I used to run. When I was in high school, I was a dancer, but life had gotten in the way. So I'm a mom to 2 beautiful 25-year-old twin girls.
It's crazy to
I
think
know,
about.
right? I know, it's crazy. And, during that time, you get into the ruts, right? I was very focused on them. I wasn't really taking care of myself. Meanwhile, I'm also one of Kelsey's more mature clients. So I was starting to feel the perimenopause coming on. I was dealing with the hormone stuff and nothing I did was working. And so Kelsey disrupted, right? That's what I would say is every time I had a growth milestone, it was because we made a disruption.
Oh,
And
that's good.
Yeah, I've noticed it. And we can talk more about that with the hike too, but that's what I needed. I needed to disrupt things. And so she got me into a gym. She taught me how to deadlift. I did a weightlifting meet. I mean, come on, and posted about it. So I didn't even do it in secret. And it just slowly had these incremental changes, but it was because we were treating all of me. It wasn't just go to the gym, do this. I learned about nutrition. I learned I was starving myself. I'm like, how could that be? But I wasn't giving myself the right foods. I wasn't fueling correctly for what I was trying to do. And so my body got scared. And that's why I was holding on to weight. And, I learned it all. And then we got the tools and we put it together into these little packages. And I started to get results. I got my health in line. I wasn't sleeping. And I remember you asking me, when's the last time I'd had a really good night of sleep? And I couldn't remember. I mean, we're talking years. That's not okay. So you were a partner to me and we got me the right doctor. And now I'm here today and I'm 55 pounds lighter
Come
than
on,
I
baby.
was.
Let's go.
I feel good. I sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. My hormones are in check. I'm, all those things. And so that led me to making that decision to say yes to go on this adventure with you. And I never would have done it if those 4 years hadn't happened. And I can't believe I feel like it's been a lifetime. It's only 4 years, but yet it feels also just like yesterday. It's all those feelings of, wow, really reflecting is crazy to me.
Man, I just want you to mic drop that. We can stop the podcast here. That's great. That was great. It has been one of the biggest blessings to see you grow into where you're at today physically, but also even more than that. You've stepped more into you. And I think that's the goal with fitness is, yes, it's amazing to feel good and look in the mirror. But the goal of it is, are you stepping more into who you were created to be?
Yeah,
And I mean, that's the coolest part.
That's what I'm really focused on now, right, is figuring out who that person is. Yeah. I remember one thing I said to you, I think it was probably the first time you met me in the gym over at 614. I looked you dead in the face and I said, I will be your biggest success story. Yeah. It might take a long time and we're not there yet. But step one was getting on this podcast.
I was going to say,
here I am. I've been saying, well, one of these days you're going to bring me on because I will be your success story. And so we got a while to go yet, but we've had some pretty big successes that I'm super proud of.
It's so good, Jill.
Even saying I'm proud of myself is crazy.
Follow that up,
yeah,
Abe.
Right.
No.
Wow. Thanks, Jill. Great setup. So yeah, same.
Can I ditto that?
Yeah.
No.
Ditto.
Share a little bit too, Aim, about your journey too, because everybody is different.
Sure.
And there's different growth and different seasons, and that is so impactful because not everybody are Jill's right now. Some are Kelsey's, some are Amy's, and no one person's journey is any better or worse. It's just different. And so I want to hear a little bit about your journey.
Amy's journey. Yeah. I met Kelsey through a coworker, and I remember looking at Instagram and I was like, wow, she looks like a badass. Who's this? And Kathy told me more about you. And then I start looking, I'm like, well, I can't do that. There's no way. And having the first call with you, I remember my immediate thing was, what's the value? Like, show me the value add. If I sign up for coaching, what am I going to get? And explaining the 3 pillars, right? The nutrition, the fitness coaching, but also the mindset piece, which is part I'd never heard from anyone else before. I'm like, okay, all right, let's give this a shot. Yeah. And the why I got to that point was, I think, similar to Jill. I woke up one day and I was like, I had been going to the gym for years. I'd been eating what I thought was the right way, but I plateaued in progress and my body composition was so out of whack. And it was frustrating. Like, I'm going to spinning classes and I'm spinning 3 times a week and I'm burning all these calories and I'm not getting anywhere. I'm gaining weight. I don't feel good about my body. Like, what is going on? And got in the gym, got the nutrition in check. I said, I'm not going to track. I'm not going to track macros. No way. Yeah. I did.
We all
see
said
the value
that,
in that.
and we
like,
all
no,
did it.
you won't get me to track my food. Next thing you know, I'm picking up 185 pounds. I've never picked up a barbell before in my life. Like, I'd gone to the gym.
I couldn't remember. You never picked up a barbell before?
Never. I had worked out at Lifetime, and I'd used the machines mostly, and I'd gone to the classes, but never. I've used dumbbells, but never picked up a barbell. And working with my coach, and I pulled it up, and I never will forget that feeling of holy, wow, look what I just did. See, I checked myself. And from that, it was a competition, which never thought I would enter a competition. And when I heard that platform ready, like, that was the first like aha moment. And I took that into how I approached a lot of things in my everyday life.
Oh, I like that.
It's just like, take a deep breath, platform ready. You're ready for this.
Oh, I've never heard that from you.
Yeah. No, it was just like that. You know, your nerves are really kicking when you're getting ready to step up on that platform, and you're like, doubting all of the training you did up to that moment. And it's like, no, it was just that when I hear those words, like, something shifted. Cool. So I got some PRs, did a couple more of those. And then here we are 4 years later. And I signed up for the hike because I was like, I kind of like being an outdoors person. What's that like? So here we are.
Yeah. Which actually piggybacks into where I was going to take us, because obviously last year, y'all are on because we did Algonquin.
We did.
And that was the first time we've ever led an event like that, because I think, yes, the lifting events are great, but I'm also about seeking the edge of different comfort zones. Yes, it can be physical, but it also can be emotional. It also can be your growth mentally. And I think metaphorically is, no matter where you're at, life can be a mountain at times. is we can't see the top, or we see the top and we feel so far away from it. And we don't realize we just need to take that next step. And so I was excited to, yes, hike the mountain, but then also go through the process of what it takes to hike that mountain. And you meet yourself in those training days, or the days where I'm on the mountain and how am I going to do this? Like, that's what it's about here. And I love seeing the letting go of beliefs, but then also the building of beliefs as well. So I know you shared, I said yes to it because I want to be outdoors. I love outdoors. Why did you say yes to Algonquin?
I needed another disruption, to be honest. And I, even just sitting here reflecting on, what you were saying, as I think through the first, lifting event, that was a disruption. But even before that, when you taught me to deadlift, that was a disruption. I wasn't doing it. I was watching the others that you were coaching do it. With each new exercise or each new phase that you put me through, it was like the little disruptions. But I needed a big one. So I had kind of backed off the strength, and I wanted to get some endurance back. My husband's an ultramarathoner, and he was looking at some big goals, and I wanted to be able to support him. And I knew my cardio endurance just wasn't where it was. I was so focused on strength. And so then it came out, and I just remember looking at it. And I think when the registration came out, I might have been the first one.
I was like, you were even before it came out, you're like, I'm signing up for that.
I was like, when is it?
I don't even have the
know
registration page ready.
It was like I was getting tickets to a concert. I was watching the clock going, she said noon. It's noon 01. What is happening? And because I'd made up my mind, I needed a disruption. So I was like, this is the one. And I love being outside. And I think now about the person that was at the bottom of the mountain and the person that came back down from it, and how different that person is just in that span of time. And it is insane, but I'm so glad I said yes.
Yeah. Let's go on this disruption theme, because I know you've experienced disruptions. I have really never thought about that word, but I love that word, because I just actually recorded a podcast, and it was all about the why behind this, the why behind expand, like everything. And what I delineated it down to is we can get so used to routines, which they can be really great, right? I wake up, I go to work, I take care of the kids, but also we can get so rigid in those routines that we forget to live as a result of them. And then you had a moment, I had a moment, I'd imagine you had a moment where we wake up and we look in the mirror and you're like, who is staring back at me? Not just physically, but that spark in your eye, the feeling of excitement in your body. And I think this is where disruption comes in. So I'm going to start with you first, Aim. Okay. What does disruption mean to you? Or what was that moment in your life that you look back on, you're like, wow, that was a disruption for me?
It's a deep question.
Yeah.
But recently, and the disruption was the physical one of perimenopause.
Yes.
Quite honestly, it was waking up about a year ago. I mean, like, what happened? Like, I don't feel like I'm in my body anymore. The person looking back at me, like, that's not who I'm seeing. I started to not feel excited about things anymore. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, hormones. So that's been a big disruption over the last year. And it's affected every aspect of my life, honestly, from nutrition to fitness to how I show up at work, to how I show up with my family. So huge disruption. Yeah.
And it's interesting, as you were sharing, two things came to mind. I'm going to hand this off to you, the baton to you, is I think disruption, we can have a negative connotation with it. Like, sometimes the perimenopause, that's a disruption. And I did not ask for this, but it came to me. And then also, we can have a positive disruption, meaning I seek disruption in my life. And both will happen in our lives. But I think this is where then you signing up for something like this of, I am actively disrupting something in my life. I'm choosing disruption because I know on the other side of that there's going to be growth. So talk to me about what you mean by disruption and what you've seen through that.
Yeah. So, disruption can be a negative word, right? Yeah. A lot of people look at it and say, why do you say you need a disruption? I look at it kind of the flip side. Exactly what you described. Routine is good. We know I need it. I mean, you showed me that time and time again. But I also get complacent when routine gets boring. Yeah. And I know myself well, and I'll bargain. Well, just do this, and then or if you miss today, it's fine. It's you're so disciplined, and then I just start. So it's those moments. And so when I think back to a moment. I mean, I think it was all right around the time probably that I started working with you. Is, you know, right before that I turned 50. I had these girls that were in college and getting ready to graduate. They didn't really need me anymore. I would spend a lot of time very focused on those things. There was always a milestone for someone else. And I was never looking at what was a milestone for me. And 50 kind of, it didn't really freak me out because, you know, I stopped counting like back at 27. So, but it just kind of washed over me. And it was literally like a wash over me that I was like, what are you going to do? You're a young, like my kids are 25 and I'm 54. Like I got a whole second act ahead of me. And it was like, and I had never spent the time to sit down and you've done this with me. You know, what's the first thing that comes to your head? And I stress out. I'm like, I don't know. Is it the right answer? You know, I'm always
Same,
about
Jill, same.
It needs to be the right answer.
That's what we're wrestling with a little bit right now too.
I need to make sure I give the right answer.
Yeah.
I need to make sure it's not too much about me, that it's maybe perhaps about someone else.
Yeah.
And so I needed to be disrupted. And that's probably what's been happening these last 4 years is now that I came centered to it. I finally accepted the fact that I need that. And I love a plan. I love a process. My team at work would tell you, what do you mean you want to be disrupted? Don't tell them. I might not let them listen to this, but I do need that to kind of re-energize because I am really good at thinking about it and I can say all the right words. But then when it comes to action is when I fall off a little bit. So the hike became something I could focus on. It was different. I didn't know anyone that was doing it. I have some people in my life who hike, but not someone that's like living in my house or that I see every day. And I thought, well, this is something I can kind of discover. It's kind of feeding that curiosity of, can I do this? I needed to make a change. I wanted to be outdoors more. I wanted to travel. I'm like, what better way? And so the disruption aspect of it to me just means that shakeup, right? When that routine hits or that tunnel vision gets in or you start bargaining. So when I notice myself bargaining now, that's when I want the disruption. All right, now I have to go find it. Before I waited for it to come to me. And I would say the biggest shift in me in the last 4 years is that, well, no, last 6 months, let's be honest, is I got to go. I'm going to find it now. Instead, like the hike kind of came to me, right? I stalked, you know, so it's probably a little creepy. But now I'm going out and I'm looking for them. What can be the next disruption? And what's the next milestone? Oh, well, in a year, I'm going to have 30 years of marriage. What are we going to do? Let's go somewhere. Let's go somewhere where I can hike and lay on a beach, you know, whatever those things are. I'm going out and looking for those disruptions now, and they're all meant to be good.
That's good. Both of you, that's good. And I see too, and we've talked about this more recently, is when we're feeling that, man, like what's going on? Or we feel that disruption, not a seek, but a this is happening, it's a cue for us to look internally. And I think that's the name of the game with a lot of growth is it's internal. Am I in alignment? Am I out of alignment? Like you talked about who I was, man, is that even who I am? Or is it just a character that I built? And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that's the process of it. And so I'm going to fast forward us, and we're going to talk about this mountain. And I'm going to preface this mountain by saying we live in Ohio. Not everybody that lives in Ohio, but we live in Ohio. Ohio is not known for mountains. And
no, it is not.
I have a coach that works with me, Shelby, and she's like, oh, yeah, I solo hiked this. So I'm thinking she's nonchalant about this. Okay. The guides that we have, they're like, oh, you guys, like anybody can do this. So I'm thinking, all right, it can't be that difficult. Like, yes, it's going to be enduring. Like, we're going to come up against that. I want to give up. It's a hiking a mountain. It's not just going to the ice cream shop. Like, of course it's going to happen. But I am telling you, when we got into this mountain, the girl that does this stuff was mind boggled by this mountain. But I'm going to rewind us a little bit to say the night before I had us do an exercise is we got around this fire, but there was no fire. And I had us write a letter to ourselves, but then also let something go. And so you don't need to share your experience with what the letter contained, but what went through your head the night before as we sat around that little bonfire area. And what were you thinking? Was it excitement, fear, hesitation? Was it what I'm going to let go of? What was yours first day that night before?
What did I get myself into? Because when we got there, right, I'm looking around, I'm like, yeah, these are serious mountains. Like, this is not Hocking Hills. This is the thing I compare it to, right? So I'm like, what did I get myself into? And the same kind of thing before, like, a meet. Like, am I ready for this? Did I do enough training? Yeah, it was more like, wow, what did I sign myself up for, and how am I going to get through this now? Because I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. I bought all the gear. Like, I'm going to do it.
We taking you.
Like, we're going. What's going to transpire? Am I going to, and it's all those, like, self-doubts, lies I'm telling myself, right? Like, you're probably, it's okay if you don't make it. You can stop, all these things. So I was sitting there trying to think, what am I going to tell myself? Like, when I get in that moment, and it was, you've done other big things. Like, you can do this. Let that part go. Let that limiting belief behavior, let it go. Like, just show up tomorrow and stay with your people. I have a support system around me, and we're going to do it together. You're not alone. So that's what I was thinking about.
Okay, what about you?
It was pretty similar. You know, that night I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I wish I could have those few days back that I didn't go out and do the training, or did I strengthen my ankles enough? That you know that was a big fear of mine, was hurting my ankle. Have had former ankle injuries over the years, and I was very afraid of that. I just wanted to know. I remember looking around and going, which one of the mountains is it? And Shelby kept saying, it's none of these, and I'm like, she goes, it's bigger, and I'm like,
Bigger than this?
Bigger than that one and that one. And as we're driving down and that one, and then we're playing this music and we're being all inspirational.
Oh, we were. Oh, ain't no mountain high enough.
Yeah, I mean, I was DJing any song that had a mountain in it. We were
this
playing
was the crew too.
This was the car. Yeah. And then, you know, I sat down to write that letter, and, you know, I got emotional, which I don't usually let a lot of people see me cry. They'll see people see me mad, happy, you know, but that's one that I keep for me. And I got emotional, and I didn't know why, because I'm like, it's fine. Like, kind of like, I've got all these people around me. I can do this. And then what I was going to let go of is I had been really soul searching, and you and I had done some work on this. And then I had done some work on this in therapy, just around giving myself permission to not care about what other people, so I'm really not saying it very well. I have this thing where people have put me in this box of this is the person who, this is who Jill is. You're this, you're this, you're this, you're this. And they've put the lid on it and they've locked it. And I have been scratching my way out of this box, and I'm waving my arms are going, that's not me anymore. Let me change. And I thought, I'm going to stop worrying about that box because I'm already out of it. They're the ones standing guard over the box. And I am giving myself permission to set that boundary to say, that's who I used to be. If you want to come and learn and meet who I am now, come on. I'm happy to show it to you.
That's good, Jill.
But we're preaching on this podcast.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm going to quit worrying, because I was getting tired waving my arms around saying, look, you know, let me be different. Why won't you let me grow? You know? And then I was like, why does that matter? Because the people that did say and came with me are the ones that are going to be there the next time or the next time, or, you know, so that was what I was letting go of, was trying to show people how different I am.
And you first had to give yourself permission.
I did.
To be able to, you know,
I did.
That's beautiful. So then we wake up the next morning really early.
Yeah, it was dark.
Dark. And we're driving
Cold.
middle of nowhere back, like upstate New York. And we get to the road, and people are there hours before us. And we have to park far away, which we're already there around like 6 in the morning, which is insane. So we get all of our stuff. We get our packs on. We start walking. And us walking to the start of this, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're already walking.
It's like almost a mile.
It was a mile walk just to get there.
Yeah. And we got our crew together, and we start on the hike. What was going through your brain as we start ascending on the hike?
where
This
is
isn't
it?
so bad.
Where is it? And this is great. It was
Yeah, because the beginning it was like, oh, it's kind of like a trail.
Yeah.
And it's so nice.
Oh,
and I've
look
got
how
all
pretty
my
that
gear.
bridge
and
is.
I'm
Oh,
like,
look at that.
me on this hike. I did it.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
very like fancy. We
Yeah.
looked the part. I'm
Right.
like, we look good. I
Yeah,
got this
yeah.
pack on. I got my snacks, and then I just kept saying to our guide, her name is escaping me.
Oh, I can't remember.
And where is it? And she's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I was getting a sore neck. I do not see a mountain. Where is it? Like, and we're just winding around, and the elevation was fine. I mean, no,
it was a beautiful
Easy.
trail.
I felt like it
actually.
was like Hocking Hills.
Right.
I was like, this is perfect. I'm at Old Man's Cave. Here we go.
Like, why do I need all this gear
Yeah,
and all
like-
these snacks?
we're gonna knock this thing out in a couple hours. Done and done. Yeah.
As we were taking pictures
Yeah.
of the
Yes.
first 4 mile mark, we were all smiles. I go back
Oh,
to those
yeah.
pictures. I'll post them.
So funny.
We were all smiles. Well, we were, and then we get to the sheets of rock, straight. I'm not
No one
exaggerating.
told me about those sheets.
These
No
are
one told us.
almost like not uphill. Like you're going up to the heavens with
We were
these rocks.
bouldering. We
Yeah.
were bouldering.
Yeah, I remember specifically that we weren't supposed to have any bouldering.
That's what they
And
told
then we
us.
get to this first like thing, and I'm like,
What is this?
this looks like a
Where's the
boulder
trail?
to me.
The trail's not marked. And she's going up it. And I'm like, where? I'm like, you said we were gonna what was it called? Scrambling? I was calling it scamper.
Yeah, it was
Scampering.
We had this whole
scrambling.
conversation on the
Yes.
call.
Yes.
And at that moment, I look at Kelsey. I remember this, and I go, we have to come back down the way we're going up. And you said something like, that's a Kelsey in a few hours from now.
That's her problem. That's not my problem. But if you guys would have been in my brain, because I'm technically responsible for everything, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these rocks and I'm like, dude, I was praying like I've never prayed before. Don't break an ankle. Don't break an ankle to everybody. Because I'm like, we have to get up this, but like you said, we have to get back down.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the stability that's required to get down. Oh, you should have. I was very, I think on the outside, calm and collected. You should have heard my internal dialogue. I'm like, what?
You kept it
is
together
going on?
real good.
You did. This is
Yeah.
the first time hearing of this. Yeah. Thank God you didn't.
Well, she couldn't
Well, I
say
can't
that
show my
then.
cards because I'll freak
Yeah.
you
Oh,
guys out.
I'd have stopped. If you freaked out, I think I would have.
That's why I had to like
Freaked out.
chill
Yeah.
out, you know?
Yeah.
So was there a point, and I say was there because I know there was, with all of us that were like, dude, there's no way. How am I going to even take another step? Not just am I going to make it to the top of this mountain,
Mm-hmm.
but there comes that resistance. So what was that moment for you? And do you remember the dialogue in your head? And I'm going to start with you, Aim.
Sure, it was on one of those turns. It's like every time we took a turn and we thought, "Cool, we're good," there would be another one of those open. It was the open like rock, and there was one of them that was. I was trying to get around them by like using branches, and this one like there was no dodging it. Like it was, I'm gonna have to go straight up this vertical ledge, and I'm like, I can't do it. This is where I stop. It was watching everybody else and how everybody else was helping one another that got me through that, and just kind of seeing like other people struggle, which doesn't sound great, but like just seeing other people and where they were, I'm like, I might have switched into like leadership mode because that's what I am in my job, and I was like, no, you're gonna keep it together and you're gonna go with your crew, and that's what somehow got me through that, because I was not trusting that my feet were gonna keep me on that rock.
Yeah. Which
At all.
they might not have, like, that's
Right.
not a crazy thought to think.
Right.
Some of that.
Yeah.
And let me preface this before, if you were listening to this, not all of our hiking trips are like
No.
this. Like I'm sitting here, I'm like,
We're
man,
scaring
people are
everyone
gonna
away.
listen to this and they're gonna be like, I am never signing up
going
for
with
that.
them.
No, our Yellowstone is not that crazy comparatively. But I also think it's important though, which is why to come up against those moments. And you talked initially, Aim, about building proof. Like I reflect back on that lifting of me. I reflect back on that time that I wanted to give up, and she didn't give up. So if I can get through that, well, I can do this right now. And that's what I'm hearing you say is when you were looking at that and you're like, there's no way. You now at that moment was building proof for this future Aim that you come back to any mountain here in Ohio and you're like, that is easy.
For
Like
sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
no question.
Yeah.
That's good. What about you?
Similarly, again, that's a terrible word. I don't like it. It was a moment when I realized, you guys will probably remember this. I think we actually have it on video too, where I
that.
couldn't, for some reason, get my foot in the right spot and there were people coming down already. It was one of the first times we encountered People had already summited.
And we went early.
And they're just kind of
and
skipping their way
they're
down.
jumping and running down. And I am standing there, and you were up, half the group was up, the guides were down, and everyone was talking me through this, and I couldn't get my foot in the right spot. And I said, I'm going to fall. And I am not afraid of heights. So none of that it was that moment I realized I'm actually afraid to fall. And I don't mean in the sense of, just fall and get back up again. I meant physically fall and crack my head open on a rock.
I feel like this vision went through her head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking down and there's the gap. To me, it was a mile. It was probably 12 inches. I don't know. It looked like a mile and it looked far. And you were asking me to just swing around, Jill, just swing around. And I couldn't even get my foot. And that's when I was having all these things like, you got to lose weight because your stomach's in the way. So this hike was loss of 55 pounds. And I'm like, well, if this doesn't tell me I got to figure something out, this has got to do it. And then so I had all this support and I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't just swing around, Jill. And this strange man who was scampering his way down the mountain stopped and he put his arms up and he goes, you can do it. And if not, I'll catch you. I did not know him. I don't know if you guys remember him, that he got down there.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He had his hands up, and I just looked around, and there was sets of hands completely around me.
Yeah.
And I think you actually pulled me.
You went coming. I'm rolling
the tape, but I did it.
Yeah.
And I looked down, and I thanked him, and he ended up having an Ohio State sweatshirt or a T-shirt on, if you remember that. He was from Columbus, Ohio. And I thought, of all the people in all the mountains in all of New York, at that moment, this man wearing an Ohio State Buckeye T-shirt stopped with his day and put his hands up and said, I got you. And I looked around and saw all of your hands, and I thought, and then I did it. And then I couldn't believe it. And then everyone kept showing me, well, look, I got it on film. I'm like, delete. I was terrified. But that was the moment where I thought, this is it. I'm sitting down, and I'll be here when you come back. I'll have my snacks. I'll be good.
Yeah. I vividly remember that moment.
Me too.
Yeah. And so I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to say, is there a moment that you felt fully alive? And let me back this up where many people live in, I would say, ranges like 4 to 7 emotions. They allow themselves to not feel too good, but also not feel too bad. Because if they feel too good, that means they may have the other range of emotion. And so when I say fully alive, it doesn't just mean, did I experience this happiness? This like, oh my gosh. It's, did I feel fully alive? Did I experience a range of emotion that I don't normally either experience in my day-to-day or allow myself to experience in the day-to-day?
The moment we got to the clearing where you could see how far we had come. Because for a lot of the journey, you couldn't see the mountain. You're like looking up, you can't see the view of where we made it.
Yeah.
And so it was that moment and looking around and everybody was there with us, right? And just like taking in the view, taking in the fact that like it was X amount of hours later and here we are. Wow.
Yeah. Like 7 hours later, not like a small format.
And just taking that all in, and then that first step, like coming back down, like, wow. And I didn't have that same sort of fear coming back down because I knew, well, I made it up.
There ain't nowhere to go but
what
down.
comes up must come down. I'll figure it out. So all of that, like fear of how am I going to make it back down, went away. But yeah, it was that moment, like that exhilarating moment of getting to that place and like looking around and seeing exactly how far we had climbed.
Did that give you a perspective shift in your life at all?
I'm sure it did in a way that I haven't processed yet. Yeah.
Because I think it's very symbolic, right? We walk, I mean, think about both of your fitness journeys. We walk this journey every day.
Yeah.
We're taking a step. We don't really look back ever to see how far we came. But there's a moment that if we give ourselves the ability to, we'll look back and be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've came so far. But so many times, and I see this with a lot of women that we work with, is they never give themselves an ability to pause and to reflect. And I think that was your moment of, man, I did that.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And yes, it's cool to grow. It's cool to like, what's the next? But we need a moment to reflect and be like, I did that thing. I think it's cool.
I think we read our letters too. And so reading what I had sat around and thought about the night before, but then being in that place was just a really cool moment.
It's good.
Yeah.
I wish I had done more of that when we were there. I was a little bit in my feelings when we were there. I was feeling a little bit disappointed in myself, feeling that I had disappointed others because I had been trailing so much. I'd had such a hard time that last leg of the hike. And I did eventually get there, but I was just doing a lot of being in my own feelings and really worrying about everybody else. Did I mess this experience up for everybody else? Which is what I do in life a lot. I'm always thinking about that. And I do have, someone took a picture of me sitting there from behind. And I'm really glad I have that picture because it is something that I go back to try to get that feeling again, because I didn't spend enough time with that. I mean, I certainly did, and looked around and it was beautiful. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, we might not have gotten as far as we wanted to, but here, look at where we are. And I wished I had done more of what you did. I never read my letter. Haven't been able to do it. I know exactly where it is. I just haven't been able to do it.
You better bring it to Yellowstone with you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. And maybe write a new one too, you know, but I never read it. I didn't feel I deserved it at the time. I have since now been able to channel that back though in really pivotal moments, and to don't wallow and waste this moment because of something you're feeling. Like I that's when I wish I had it back, was those 20, 30 minutes we were there. I wish I had that one back. Again, I don't want to say I'm regretting, because I think I did a lot of growth in that time frame, and even up until the next morning, sitting out in that back patio having coffee, and some of the things Lauren said to me still stick with me today. But yeah, the alive moment actually comes when I reflect on it more. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it was a very different experience at that time, and one that I'll use, hopefully not to think about it in a negative sense, but to have it be part of my growth.
You know what's interesting? I just put this together in my brain. How how you initially talked about breaking out of the box, right? And people put me in a box, they locked it, like let me out. And so it's interesting. I think this is whenever we want to grow an area in our life, it's going to present an opportunity to see how we respond in it. And I think it's so interesting that was your intention for it. And then as we didn't get to the top, we got close, but it was still going to be an hour. Like, it wasn't that we were only a meter away. But that's what you wrestle with, is what are they thinking about me? And so I think that's a beautiful opportunity, and it's cool. This might not come out the right way, and I'm very aware of this, but people shy away from experiencing what you might have experienced of, well, did I let people down? Oh my gosh. But now you have the perspective of, I'm not ever going to not pause in that moment and look around.
That's right.
Because I know what now it feels like to not look around. And you might not ever have had that perspective, Jill, if you didn't experience that. And so I think that's such a beautiful lesson for all of us to learn. And how many more, maybe more important moments with your family, with loved ones, that we would have missed because we didn't learn that lesson on that mountain.
100%. And the other thing, I want to be very clear to your listeners that there was never one person, not one of you or any of those ladies ever said anything or made me, or like did anything that
I would have karate chopped somebody.
100% all in my own head. It was the story I was writing for myself, which is a really bad habit that I have, which is I write my own stories. And but you're 100% right, because I reflect on that moment all the time, and I don't ever want to feel that way again. I don't ever want to look around and I know that we went into it together. You told me that. We all agreed to that. No matter what happened, it happened to be me that was having a hard time.
Oh, it was.
I mean, I shouldn't say I was the only one. Everyone was having a hard time.
Because I was also
I killed it on the way down. I was a rock star on the way down, which was shocking. But yeah, and so I think you're right. I use that moment now 100% as growth reflection. And it's helping me get better at answering the questions when you're like, close your eyes and say the first 3 things that come into your head. And I'm like, what's the answer? right.
Yeah.
There isn't one.
Yeah.
It's whatever I feel. And that answer can change. I can give you one today and I could change it tomorrow.
Could change
Because
it in an hour, Jill.
I'm allowed because I'm finally taking control of my own life.
Yeah.
I am living it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm not living it for others as well, but first and foremost, I'm getting a little selfish in these 50s, and I like it.
And I like it.
And so yeah, I'm gonna do it different.
Yeah.
In July.
Yeah.
July, August.
Yeah, end of July.
End of July.
Which we are doing Yellowstone. We had a crew this time, and I'm very excited for it. And so coming off that mountain and being in an airplane, coming back to Ohio, what is one thing that you're taking with you from that weekend or that experience in general? Either one.
First thing that comes to mind is if I could do that, I can do anything. Like, right after that day. And what was amazing to me, and I remember walking out to the Jeep with you, like we could barely move. And I thought there is no way when I wake up in the morning that I'm going to be, they're going to have to get a wheelchair for me at the airport. I woke up the next day and I was fine.
I did
Like,
squats.
It was 13
Yeah. I
hours.
was
For those that are
squatting.
listening, we were on that mountain for 13 hours.
And I was waddling to the Jeep and I like hoisted myself up.
Yeah.
I remember not being able to feel comfortable
Yep.
about whatever position I was in. Like we're sitting there eating and I'm like, I can't sit.
I didn't
still.
even
Nobody
eat.
really
I-
talked either.
I didn't
We
really
were-
eat. I was
No?
hungry, but I couldn't eat. I ordered that drink. I had 2 sips of that beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do not
You're like,
want
do you want to go to the car? I'm like, yep.
I literally was like, Kelsey, can I have the keys to the car? I needed out of there. And I didn't know why. I just needed, I felt physically sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to the question, I think it's you can do anything you want to do, but also trust your body because you put in the work to be able to do the thing. Trust it.
Yeah, that was incredible. Like I thought we were all going to be sore. Everybody, I mean, maybe some soreness a little bit,
Yes.
but everybody was moving like they never hiked a mountain the day
Yeah.
before. But I think I told you this, of that is the mark of your preparation is not how you do on the mountain, it's how you recover that next day. And if you guys wouldn't have strength trained, worked on what you've done, not just for 12 weeks, but years prior, your knees would have killed, your hips would have killed. And I think that's when you can reflect back. That's your mountaintop moment where you look back and you're like, wow.
The work worked.
The work works.
I love that. Yeah. Same. I mean, for me, it was, I think the question was what you took away.
Yeah, like what was a
Was an overwhelmingly loud, I mean, I'm trying to pick my words very intentionally, an overwhelmingly loud sense of pride. I was so proud of myself. And could not remember the last time I said those words out loud and meant them. And I got up that next morning and I joked, I ran down literally jogged myself down the steps.
the stairs were like this.
Shocking. Yeah. It was like you put me in a torture chamber up there between that bathtub and those stairs.
Really selling the hike.
Yeah.
just wait for Yellowstone to go, guys. Am I a little bit better?
We'll see. What's that tub? Do I have to climb a
Who's this
mountain to
Kelsey
get
girl
into the
that-
tub? To shower in a tin can? I don't know. But I came downstairs and
This is amazing.
I stood in front of you and I squatted. I go, look, and I did
You
a
did
full
do that.
squat
You
to the
did.
ground. One of my best forms, I might add. And got back up, and you were like, what? And everyone was doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I was so proud of myself. My ankles felt great. I slept like a
Oh, yeah.
baby. I
Some
woke
good
up
sleep.
before my alarm. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to have to toss my suitcase down those steps. I carried it down. I mean, it was shocking. And then now getting up out of the plane was a little
Oh yeah, you're flying for hours.
right. And so I was like, maybe I should have brought some compression socks or something for my legs. But yeah, it was 100%
Yeah.
just this overwhelmingly loud voice saying how proud I was of myself. And that was for me. That wasn't for anybody else.
I once again just recorded a podcast too, and it was talking about how in life we think the goal is to get as comfortable as we can. Like, oh, if I finally get here, then I'll be good. Or if I finally have all these external things in my environment, then I'll be content and happy. And there's research behind that when things are when I say easy, it's not that we want to have a hard life, but when we try to seek comfort in every area, that leads actually to the most depression and anxiety. But also on the flip end, when we're constantly like making every part of our life hard, that leads to overwhelm and anxiety and like the nth degree. But then there's this Goldilocks middle where we need some challenge in our life, either life happening to us or us seeking challenge. And that's where the highest performance is. That's the most energy that you have in your body. And that's what I'm hearing from both of you is that was like, we're in a Goldilocks time of we're seeking that challenge, seeking the edge, but we're seeking that challenge where it's providing that growth in our life, but then also that moment of, I'm so proud of myself. And when we just constantly seek comfort in every area and no growth, you don't have that moment of, I'm proud of myself.
That's good.
That's really, I've never heard it described that way before.
That's interesting.
But yeah, I mean, this was the hardest thing I've probably ever done.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, for sure. I
For
remember
sure.
I went for a walk the next day and I'm like, that was the hardest physical thing I have ever done.
And I found myself wanting to spend a lot of time alone afterwards. I don't know if you experienced that. Like I did walk by myself.
Yeah.
Obviously we all hit the ground running, back work, school, whatever everyone was doing. But I was finding myself really seeking some very private moments.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people checking in how'd it go. Because we didn't do a lot of posting right away, which so that people were like, well, I didn't see any pictures. What happened? And I was wanting to keep it for myself for a little bit. It took me a couple days to share some pictures. And then when I came across that photo that someone took from behind, that became like the photo that I was like really leaning into. And but yeah, I wanted to kind of keep
it was a shared experience. And I think it was for the people, for those of us who were together. And it's really hard to describe that experience to somebody who wasn't physically there.
Yeah.
So for me, when people were asking about it, like I wasn't ready to talk about it yet because of that. Like they're not going to relate in the same way because you weren't there. And like there was this really special shared experience with the group that went.
Yeah, and our group chat was fire for days, and it still is. I love that, and all the things we're still wanting to do together and experience together. But yeah, it 100%. That couldn't have said it better. I really wasn't ready to let anyone else in yet.
And it's a processing time.
Yeah.
I think when you pursue a goal to that extent, like a literally a mountain or a metaphorical mountain, there's an integration time. And people forget this, is like they do something like that that can be life-changing or perspective-changing, but then they go back to doing everything of what they did or just let's share it to everybody. And people miss the internal reflection of the integration.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the lessons are born. It's not necessarily on the mountain, but then the integration after the mountain of, well, what did I learn? Oh, what did I wrestle with? Who did I become on that mountain? And that's where the growth lies, I think, is more than anything.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so I didn't scare you off enough with Adirondacks. You both are coming to Yellowstone.
I didn't even think twice.
I didn't either.
Which is crazy when you hear about the experience. You're thinking, oh, heck no.
I remember
we never.
because everyone started signing up in the group chat.
I panicked.
I need to go.
I got to get a spot.
Sign up right now.
You're like, I don't even know what I signed up for.
I really, truly didn't. Like, I knew it was Yellowstone, but I didn't see the whole agenda. So I was like, I remember Jude, my husband, was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to Yellowstone. Sometime in the summer, not sure.
a lot of trust in me.
I said, I think it's like Boise, Montana. I've never been out west. I mean, I've been to California, but I've never been
You've never been to those mountain ranges?
No.
What is it? Big Sky Country? I've never been.
Oh my gosh! I didn't know you both have never been there.
Yeah, but I was panicked. I thought
me too.
I'm watching, and I'm like, I was waiting. I couldn't get a hold of my husband. I'm like, I'm doing it. It was crazy. I could not get on there fast enough.
Yeah.
And but you had me at rodeo too.
We are going rodeo, and it's a Western rodeo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I have two questions for you on that. Is why, like, when you listen back to this, you're thinking that was hard. That was crazy. Wow, they wrestled with things. Why were you jumping so much of the bit? And then I'm gonna wait for the second question after.
I think part for me was having that feeling again of accomplishing something, seeing something new, because I have not been to this area of the country yet, but also the people. The people that we spend the time with when we're doing it, like something special. So I was immediately just,
Send it.
why not?
Yeah, I would say definitely the people. Like once I saw that the full group was coming back, and it wasn't a FOMO feeling. It was more of a, I always tell Kelsey I'd walk through fire for you. I think I would walk through fire for this group of women. Like, I think I'm going to extend it. It's not just you now.
Hey, I don't
that
want to
I'll
be
walk through
selfish.
fire
It's
for.
fine.
Are you gonna stop me too?
Like, if Kelsey said, jump off this cliff, you'll be fine, I'd probably jump off the cliff because I have that much trust.
Way too much.
Wow.
Probably.
Aim's like, I don't got that much
Maybe I
trust.
need to bring that guy from Ohio to catch me.
If that guy shows up,
Then
He's stalking you.
then I think maybe there's a problem. But honestly, it was, I have some unsettled business with myself. I'm going to show up differently this time. I'm going for myself first, which sounds like I'm twitching a little saying that, but I got to get good practice. But for these ladies, because even though, again, nobody said I let them down, nobody said this or that, I'm going to just... Redemption. I have a little unfinished business.
Yeah.
And maybe even with Algonquin, we'll see.
Yeah. That's why Taylor was like, oh, well, Taylor, but then also people were like, oh, you're doing it again. And I did have that desire of let's put it on. But then I'm like, we need a different experience. We need a different
I'm
perspective.
not ready for those rocks.
Yeah,
yet.
me
And
either.
selfishly, I was like, oh, I don't want
Well,
to.
and you said this one will be easier. So
It'll
I'm
be-
holding you to that.
Yeah. Well, once again, I thought from my
Yes.
experience, Algonquin is going to be easier. But this piggybacks into my second and last question for this is who is the woman that's showing up on this Yellowstone trip differently than the woman that showed up for ADK? What do you think?
I know.
Mm-hmm. I think that she is lighter, and I mean it literally, physically, and mentally. I'm my body's different.
Yeah.
But my brain's in the process of getting a little bit some rewiring work done, and so this woman is lighter in her thoughts. She's lighter in worrying about what everybody else is thinking. She knows who she is.
Come on now.
We're working on that part. She sets boundaries. Yeah, I just think she's lighter. She's just a little bit more easy breezy, little lighter.
Cover girl.
No, not a cover girl, but maybe one. No, I'm kidding.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
I just
beautiful.
think
I can
she's
feel it.
lighter.
I can feel
And
the energy off
I
her.
have not taken off my bracelet that you gave
Oh,
us.
wow.
That was not that color when I gave it to
It
you.
was.
No.
It was brown. That's probably why I kept it on. If it had been bright purple or orange or something, I don't know, because it goes with everything. But yeah, I look at
Oh,
it every single
wow.
day. I don't ever take it off. It's this bracelet that has a mountain on it that she gave us the night before, and it's a little reminder of that unfinished business. So,
Wow.
yeah.
All right.
It's dedication. What about the woman that's showing up on Yellowstone for you?
She's in the process of
Yeah.
letting a lot of things go right now and rediscovering herself in this new phase of life. So a very different person is starting to emerge who's a little more comfortable being okay with being in a place where I'm not just like go, 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 or I'm in a healing place right now. And so she's showing up in that space. It feels good.
Can't wait to get to know her too.
Yeah.
This is exciting. Like you just get to know more parts of you
Mm-hmm.
and a greater depth to you. And I think that's what we're all yearning for, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all yearning, who am I? Everybody wrestles with that. And some people wrestle with it their whole life. Some people have that ability to dig deeper. And I think that's the beautiful part, AIM, where we talk. We can be go. All three of us can be, what's the next goal? Let's achieve the thing. Let's get that next rank. And just as much as it's uncomfortable climbing a mountain, it can be uncomfortable slowing down.
Yep.
And that's where I love the outdoors, because it makes you slow down. Like it makes you breathe. It makes you have to take a moment. Look at the beauty around us. Look at that tree. Look at this. And how often do we do that in our day-to-day? Probably not that much. And so I'm excited for this trip for you, because it's going to, I just have a feeling, especially with these women, I know you don't know all of them, I do, it is going to be powerful. Like this weekend, ADK was powerful. We got some funny stories. We got some wild stories. I feel like this weekend is going to be a mark on everybody's life where I'm different coming back. I'm more me coming back. And I'm just excited to have you guys with it.
Well, and just also to show you some gratitude for introducing hiking, right? I mean, it's not like I didn't know what it was, but I hadn't really done it.
Same, yeah.
And, I have set some goals based on it. I make sure I get out and touch grass every single day, every day since that hike, even when it's cold, even when you can't see the grass.
You do it in the snow?
I get outside and I feel it every day. And then I set a goal to hike someplace new in Ohio every month for the year. And so far I've done that. And and one of my sisters has gone with me one time. My husband's been with me every time. The dogs come. My daughter came one time. One of the girls came. We're planning some cool trips. I might have to adjust my goal because I think we're going to do a couple outside of Ohio.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, and so I'm just have so much gratitude as well because I just found something I love that, you're outdoors and you're breathing the air and you can take snacks.
You and your
I love the
Your
snacks.
water pack. And you
And my water pack and my
water.
my very cool backpack that I haven't used since.
That's actually the real reason I'm going to
gear.
Yellowstone is I have to use my gear.
Right.
again.
Hey, we can't spend all
It's
that
an
and then not actually use
investment,
it.
Yeah, yes, right. Yeah, I don't. So I told my husband exactly that. I don't have to buy all that gear at this time. This is girl math. This is
Girl
way
math.
much
cheaper
more
in the long run.
affordable in the
Right.
long run.
Right. Maximizing the money I already spent. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, and I just so much gratitude to you and Shelby for, bringing it and having me, and for the ladies just accepting me. They, I can't wait to giggle and laugh and have coffee.
I mean, how often can you get a group of women together? We didn't really know each other that
No,
well,
not. I mean, I knew
really,
everybody.
right?
I mean,
You
we
guys
had
didn't
met-
really
Stick
know
them in
each
this
other.
Airbnb
Yeah.
and hope for the best.
And climb a mountain with 13 hours. I mean,
Right.
that's not many people
and
will make
share
it
a
through that.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
a lot.
those pictures of the walking with your hat on with your towel out to the sauna, we did not do that, but we were gonna. Yeah, I mean, 100%. It was, I'd seen, we had met at some of the meets,
Yeah.
but we didn't really know each other. And yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Count it down.
I know.
I finally booked my return flight too,
Oh,
so
there
I
we
can
go.
get home
She's
now.
not staying in
I'm
Bozeman.
not
But
staying
what do
in
you call it?
Bozeman.
Boise, Montana?
Boise, Montana.
Where's she going? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where she's going.
Wait, which flight did you?
Okay, last part. Is there anything that either of you want to share that you haven't yet? Either about A, this past trip, or about B, that you feel like is on your heart to get out to anybody?
If you're thinking about doing something and there's this voice that's telling you, you're not ready or this isn't for you, but in your heart you want to do the thing, find a way to eliminate that noise and do it. Do it. You have one go at it. Make the most of it.
I would say don't find a way to stop writing your story in your brain. Go out and live your story.
Oh, that's good too.
Stop writing it because you're never going to get it right unless you go do it. And that's the biggest thing that I would want someone to know and that I'm going to keep telling myself. Don't sit and think about it. Just live it. Just go live.
Both of you mic drops. Well, first of all, thank you for obviously coming on ADK because that's a story that we will tell.
Sounding
until
great,
we're-
right?
You want to come next year?
Till we saw that first
Girls trip.
shard of rock.
Yeah, some girls trips go to the beach.
Right,
We
right.
decide to
Yeah.
do a 13-hour hike, but we have stories.
We
And
do.
we
And
have lived
bruises.
experiences.
We left some skin.
So good. So thank you both and everybody that wasn't able to be on the podcast but that came to ADK. Thank you from the bottom of my heart because it was the collective group of women that made this experience what it is. And I will just, one thing that I have just been almost brought to my knees to over the past couple months is the people in my life. I am just so grateful for the people in my life, and that includes all of you to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
it's just the coolest thing when, you can have this idea, but then this idea comes to fruition and then you see people grow through it. I'm like, I don't know, I just get so grateful that I'm here and feel called to lead the message that I am leading because it's resulting in both of you and sharing the lessons and the experiences. So I just think it's the coolest thing. So thank you both.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, crew. I know y'all heard the crazy stories. You're like, let's go to ADK tomorrow. Just kidding.
Sign up.
But thank you all for listening. I always say that when you give us your ears, I don't take that lightly because there's so much going on. There's a lot of things happening, and I really take to heart you giving us time to hopefully influence you for the better, and then also share their experiences with that. So thank you all, A, for listening, but B, if there's one thing that you're taking away from this podcast is go do the thing, right? You hear these women and the lessons they've learned and the amazing moments and the challenges, but at the end of the day, they became more of them because they didn't let fear, doubt, and hesitation get in the way. And that is such a beautiful thing that they're going to continue to take with them. So step out of your comfort zone. And like I say all the time is we can listen to the podcast, but it's until we actually do it in our life that things change. And so I want you to take that step. Like Aim said, it might be call somebody that you thought about calling, but you're a little bit nervous to. It might be sign up for that thing. It might be go to the gym for the first time, pick up a barbell for the first time. And you never know where just saying yes to one thing will lead to you climbing either a metaphorical mountain in your life and getting to that summit, or an actual mountain and getting to that summit and seeing and reflecting back on. So I love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.